Are men wrong for having doubts when women claim they've been assaulted with no proof shown? Such as Fabolous, where people go, oh, well, he's a laid-back kind of guy. You know, are we on some, basically, speak on?
Okay. What I'll say is domestic violence is a serious issue.
Yes.
Absolutely. There's no getting around that. There's no way to sugarcoat it. But we've gotten to the point where there is a lot of people, I'll say, who, because men have done it as well. Okay, they're not real men, but they're men nonetheless. Who have gone out and actually said that this person put their hands on me, this person hit me, or whatever the case may be, and that isn't the truth. That's not what actually happened. Same as those situations where you have the females and or males that claim that they've been raped, and they were not. My thing is, if you do a false claim like that, and we go out and we do the research, and the money is paid for us to look into all this and get it all figured out, and we get to the source of it, and we find out the truth, and we find out that you're lying, then you should get hit whatever
penalties they would have got.
The other person would have got.
Absolutely. I 100% agree.
Well, if she's missing her two front buck teeth, then I think that's the evidence that we need.
I mean, yeah, I'm not saying if that is the case, if that's what happened, then yes, absolutely.
I definitely get you. We ain't seen pictures of nothing. We just been told.
I just don't. Well, when those pictures come out, it's going to have the Rihanna effect that it had with Chris Brown. When her facial picture got released and people saw how bad it actually was after hearing the story, then it was like pouring gasoline on it at that point.
Right.
But with this situation, I mean, if he did it, it's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? But I would also like to hear the entire story as well. You know, I have no idea. I saw a video recently on Instagram kind of playing into it, and I guess this couple went to a strip club, and the guy got pulled up on stage, and the stripper put that thing on him, and the girl came out the crowd and yanked him off the stage and started hooking off on him. Now, would he have been wrong to slap the hell out of her right there at that point? Like, you can't just be doing whatever you want just because you're a woman. You feel like this is a man, he's stronger than me, he's bigger than me, he should be able to take these hits. That doesn't work. You gotta be careful. I was always taught, no matter who you are or what you do, if you put your hands on somebody, be prepared to have hands put back on you. It's just a simple law. It's a cause and effect. They teach you that from elementary school. Don't put your hands on anybody if you don't want people to put your hands on you. It's simple.
So you're saying it's situational, like?
Yeah, it is.
Right.
It is. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't excuse the teeth knocking out. That's very excessive. You know what I'm saying? He probably didn't have to hit her. He probably could have restrained her some way, yoked her up a little bit, took her by her shirt, whatever. But he probably didn't have to go off on her to that level. But, you know, when provoked, there's no telling what extremes you'll go to at that heat of that moment, depending on what that scenario is, what the scenario around the situation is based on. You can never be sure how someone is going to react to how you do something to them.
Is music that powerful? Because, like, R. Kelly was just in the news again about him.
Oh, but my fault. But in regards to if I listen to him, you know what I'm saying? But it all depends on the details, like I said, surrounding. You know what I'm saying? Because right now I don't feel any different about his music. But if the details surrounding the scenario just like makes it like he just was on some on some rowdy shit for absolutely no reason, then I would probably view his music different at that point.
That's what I'm getting to. If he's found that if it's found that he did all of this stuff, should we not listen to his music? Like, how can we, because we love music. And it's like R. Kelly. He's made, I think that it happened about 10 to 15 years ago. I can't remember when it happened, but it was a long time ago. He's still making music. Women still love him, and men still love him. And you can be a father with a 14-year-old child, and you don't want nobody doing what he did to your daughter. Or you can be a woman. People still love R. Kelly. It's like we just can't seem to separate the music. Well, we just can't seem to turn off the music when the person has done the utmost wrong.
It's hard to get rid of classics, though.
Right, but if somebody, how do we fix this? Because because you're a celebrity, you can just go and do anything you want because you make good music.
No, I don't think that's the case, like, at all. Where just because you're, I would say, a glorified human being, because you have this specific talent, and in most cases it has to do with athletics or it has to do with music. Why? Because those are the two most entertaining things that we probably take part in.
Okay.
I would have to say that your talent or your gifts that you have in life, that has absolutely nothing to do with your personality and the person that you are, and your upbringing. There's absolutely no reason for a man to put his hands on a woman. I don't care what the circumstances is. I do understand that things get out of hand, but as a man, I feel that it is our responsibility to protect our women, because we've kind of lost that along the way with some of the generations that's come up behind us. And our main focus is supposed to be to protect our children and to protect our women. And we haven't necessarily been holding up our end of the torch on that end. So I'm not going to go ahead and allow that to be a scapegoat for someone to say that, oh, because they're famous, that they should get a pass. Absolutely not. If anything, you're famous because you are using the gift that you have, and it puts you in the limelight. So you should be more cautious of the way that you present yourself in front of the fans and just in general. Because you know the spotlight is on you. You know there's paparazzi. You know there's people that are just looking and waiting for an opportunity for you to slip up. Personally, myself, I'm not a famous person, but just yesterday someone stopped me and said, Brett, I know who you are. I've seen your videos. Like, I love what you do. I love what you speak about. And that's not something that I necessarily ask for. But when you have situations like that, where people are recognizing you and they are taking notice to what you do because of your gift, you have a responsibility now, not just to yourself, but to your family, to your people, to your community, and to the legacy that you plan to leave behind.
Oh, that's a fact.
Well, with Fab, I agree with that as well. And I also take into account that Fab, he's been, how long he's been in the game?
Since 2001.
This is his first type of scenario. This is his first type of scenario where you've seen his name with this type of scrutiny at this point in his career. You know what I'm saying? I think that speaks a lot to his character too. I don't know if questions should start to come out of, or how long has this been going on? We haven't heard about it and stuff like that. But as far as we know, this is a one-time thing. This is the first time a scenario of this magnitude from his career has happened.
I don't know. This can't be the first. I don't know if this is the first time.
It's not.
I mean, you could chalk that up to the little Spider-Man quote: "With great power comes great responsibility."
Facts.
You know what's coming. Like that's what that's what.
But he also, before, when Uncle Ben told him that, he also didn't use his responsibility until he learned his lesson. Until what happened to Uncle Ben happened, then the words resonated. Like, oh shit. If I would have listened to these words prior, I could have prevented my uncle from being killed. But now, after the tragedy has happened, the words sink in, and I understand it now.
Can't lose the teeth though.
Exactly. But what does that say? What does that say about it? Like, if had you paid attention the first time, you wouldn't even be in this situation. You wouldn't be in this predicament. Like, that's what I do. Like that's what we do as parents and stuff like that. And like, when your parents are talking to you, they're trying to prevent you from running over those landmines or those speed bumps. That's what they're always doing. And of course, we're looking at them like, what? Come on, whatever.
Yeah, but each parent also, it's still their own path too. Experience.
Absolutely.
Experience is the best.
And I'm going to keep it funky. Fab is Mr. Cool. He lost his cool. You can't lose your cool, man. Whatever they had going on, men are some prideful people. Rappers are prideful people. Whatever it was that he did, and like I was joking earlier, and I was like, she sent the nude or something to another rapper. That's deadly ammunition that somebody could use against him. And as prideful as he is, I can see him losing his cool. I don't know if that really happened. If you look at Fab, you look at a cool dude, but you also heard that street fam ain't nothing to mess with. So at the same time, as laid back and cool as he is, he got this side to him. You know what I'm saying? And plus, because they've been in the limelight so long with Love and Hip Hop and everything that they've done, you saw that this relationship has been struggling for a long time. So when this happened, people are going to be like, you know what? He never loved her anyway. That's what people are saying if you actually check social media.
But we're not in their relationship,
right?
So we have absolutely no idea what they've, the ups and downs that they've been through, the things that they've gone through, and whatever it is that makes them stay connected to each other, like that magnetic force. Love is a powerful thing. Like, love is the most powerful force there is on earth. So, like, when you love somebody, like, it is what it is. Like you're not gonna break away from that, and nobody can tell you to stay away from that person or whatever the case may be until you finally get to the point where you've had enough.
Well, if he violated, hopefully this is the one. If he didn't, hopefully justice has prevailed. But because he's accused of it, he gonna get dragged, regardless of if he did it or not.
I'm gonna put it like this: if I was ever in a situation where I felt so angry that I not only thought about hitting you, but I actually act on it, this is a serious problem.
Yeah.
Like this is not something to take lightly.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever get yourself to the point where you're like, yo, I'm a ripper. Yeah.
One thing I do find hard to believe is that the first time you go off on your girl, you knock her teeth out. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's why I say I don't think it's the first time.
I do find that part kind of like if this is the first scenario, that's not the kind of blow you deliver. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, say something again and.
Yeah, but then at the same time, I believe in individuality, and I believe in each person's triggers are absolutely different, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You never know. You can't
tell. Like you can't